you've popped. He was a 3-star recruit as a broadcaster. He's become a 5-star guy. He's first round. Mark Sanchez. Come on, that was a joke, Mark. You were. By the way, we loved you, but we had no idea what we had. And then we looked up and we got Jalen Milroe here running, throwing deep. Holy moly!
Listen, we'll talk about that during the break. Okay, let's just keep it professional, huh?
Okay. So here's the thing, and now this I may be reaching here. But if you're smiling already. Okay. Aaron Rodgers is a winner. He's a
Proven winner.
The Jets, last decade, are not winners. So Aaron Rodgers, all of a sudden defensive coach with a losing record, at a press conference says, I love the cadence. And I'm thinking, well, come on now. Now, I wouldn't love that either. Is that just my ego?
No. You know who did a great job of breaking this down? Who? Is our guy Hasselbeck. Talking about when you use cadence as a weapon. If you're a veteran quarterback who's been in the league 20 years or whatever it is for Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, these kind of veteran guys, you're going to use your cadence as a weapon. It has been a weapon for them. He threw a touchdown against San Francisco by getting up to the line of scrimmage, ready with his cadence. Guys are still running off the field, getting guys to jump, getting free plays. That's a part of Aaron's repertoire, right? I think this lends into the New York media blowing up one comment from the coach, then getting Aaron to comment back about it when they haven't spoken about it. So now it looks like a feud internally, when really it's an external issue. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers and his cadence. I don't think Robert Saleh is really worried about Aaron Rodgers and the cadence. He just, as a defensive coach, is like, hey, guys, we've had 13 penalties in this game. Some on defense, some on offense. In an ugly game, look at the weather. It's completely pouring in this game. You're going to have to win ugly, which means don't beat yourself.
Right.
So I think he was more miffed with penalties in general. And so when he says cadence, it happened to be one of the ones that stuck out in his head of using the cadence in plus territory. So what Matt Hasselbeck said is when you're backed up and you use cadence on your minus 5-yard line, your heels are almost on the goal line kind of thing. If you jump off sides on offense, who cares? False start, who cares? You move back 2 yards. But if you're on the other team's goal line and you move back 5 yards, it really changes, right? So you try and do it when you're on your own territory because there's less to lose, right? Less risk. But I don't think this is that big of an issue in general. The bigger issue is learning how to win ugly, learning how to make a kick in the rain. I mean, Zerline, you played pretty well. Like, I need that kick, man. Yeah. I need you here.
Right.
It's an ugly game. It's a 10-9 affair. It is nasty. Go find me a way to win. One more first down, one more completion, a strain on a block here or there, a missed field goal as opposed to a made field goal against a rookie quarterback on the road. We got to have that win. Now, moving forward, turn the page as fast as you can. Stop reading the clippings. Get out of the Daily News and New York Post. Just move on with your life because you got a big one across the pond against one of the hottest teams in the league in Minnesota. Then they got the Bills, right? These next 2 games are really going to help shape their season, but they're going to need to remember this. So the word for them is compartmentalization. You got to compartmentalize this game. Remember it for what it was. They're going to get another ugly weather game, maybe in Buffalo late in the year, maybe at home late in the year, in New England when they need a win late in the year, raining, snowing, sleet, wintry mix, whatever the heck it says on your iPhone app, right? You got to remember how to win those games ugly, and you can't beat yourself. League average is 5.5 penalties a game last year. 13 penalties, over double the league average. That was a problem, not just one, pre-snap penalty on a cadence issue, in my opinion.
So you do, I think, the best job of any analyst I've seen on any network describing why things are happening. And you really are good at this. My wife doesn't even listen to me. She thinks I sell insurance. And then, she'll be like, who's the guy on, the handsome guy that's on? And I'm like, oh, Mark Sanchez.
Careful.
And she's like, yeah, he explains it that I understand it. So sometimes things happen, and I'm like, I don't get it. I love Cliff Kingsbury as a play caller. I thought Jayden Daniels would be good. I didn't think it would be the greatest offense in league history. Mark, the run game, there's no contact for 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Second opportunity for Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay.
Look at Pete Carroll. Second opportunity in the NFL after going to New England. Bill Belichick, second opportunity. Guys, when they get their second shot, like Cliff Kingsbury, you don't think they're taking notes the entire time about where they missed? What could I have done better? Now, not only do you take those notes and get better yourself, but you enter a better situation with maybe a better player at the quarterback position, arguably, similar traits, but a guy who has really taken care of the football, can run. I mean, we've seen him outrun SEC defenders playing Florida last year when he was at LSU and just beating them by 5-6 yards down the stretch. 70-yard foot race. Are you kidding me? So this kid has elite speed. He knows how to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Cliff has set him up that way. A ton of pure progressions where he's just going 1 through 5. Boom, 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 boom. I know exactly what it looks like. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And then the run game, as you mentioned, when you get a run game that can help the quarterback like that, just like the Bears did last week. I'm teasing those clips for the second part of this hit here. Yeah. But it really is working together. Being with somebody who's seen it before, who's been in a Super Bowl game, in Dan Quinn, who's won Super Bowls as a coordinator. I mean, this guy understands it. And now Cliff gets to go be a coordinator again before potentially he gets to be a head coach again down the line. And he's gotten better. He went back to college for a year, comes back to the NFL, and he's ready to go. He has a guy that can pull the trigger for him, and he's setting him up nicely, understanding that the defense is going to help him out, that a run game can help you. You don't have to throw it 50 times a game, but when it calls for it, you got to be ready to. So I think there's a lot of reasons for his success. Did anybody expect it to be the best in NFL history? No, of course not. That's the result. But the process has gotten better. Too often we praise the result. The process has gotten better, and a lot of that has to do with the situation. And then Cliff Kingsbury's development and growth personally as a coordinator.
We try to fit people into boxes. We do this with Jamie Foxx early in his career. He can sing, he can dance, he's funny, he can do a game show. Jamie can do everything. We've done this with Lamar.
Sure.
He's this, not this. Mark, I watch him in the pocket. I'm watching the videos we show. He's a good pocket quarterback. I mean, I didn't play the position, but when I watch him, there are guys I don't think see the field. He sees the field. I think he's underappreciated.
Well, I think he's getting better and better as each season goes on. Once again, he's getting more opportunities at it. I think there's no reason not to expect these guys. I shouldn't say that. It's expected that they're going to win 10 to 14 games a year. They're going to run the heck out of the ball. He's going to extend plays, whatever. The key for me is, just like in the championship game last year, can you beat people from the pocket when it counts at the end of the year in those final 4 games where you play Kansas City and you don't rush for 200 yards, Derrick Henry.
Right.
And those extended plays get shut down by Chris Jones, you know, and you're siloed in the pocket and you got to drop back 10 to 15 times a game and deliver strikes. And I need 10 to 12 completions on those 15 plays. Sometimes you're conceding and just checking it down. Sometimes you're ripping it down the field in tight windows. That's where the growth is going to be. I'm expecting all this stuff that we're seeing now. Okay. And he's progressing. He's going in the right direction, trending in the right direction. But it's going to matter at the end of the year. Can he do it from the pocket when it counts, 10 to 15 plays a game? And that's where he's really going to take the next step in his career. This MVP type level of play that we're used to, that's expected almost. And I'm not saying that's, this easy, accomplishable feat. That's really tough to do what they do. But show me it at the end of the year. I'm not taking anything away from the guy. He's the MVP last year. But you got to do it when it counts. And if he can do that, he's going to take that next step and be in a completely different stratosphere as a quarterback.
All right. Mark can do this without me, but I'm just here to set him up. So he's got a couple of pieces of tape, and I'm fascinated on this because I do think Caleb felt like he got his feet under him. He felt a little more poised. You're going to describe it. So let's start with the first piece of tape.
Sure. So essentially, you look at the formula to win. We talk about on this show all the time. What's their formula to win with a rookie superstar quarterback, weapons on offense, a punter who can kick it out of the stadium and flip field position, a kicker in Cairo Santos that can get you 3 points on the regular as soon as you cross the 40-yard line. I mean, you have options, plus a defense that led the league in interceptions last year. They get takeaways. You're going to get free possessions. Take care of the football and make me really good decisions, especially 3rd and long. Go ahead and roll the tape. So look at the situation here. They're down 6. It's a 1-score game, second quarter, at home, Soldier Field. Fans are a little shaky, right? You've dropped the last 2 games on the road. But These Rams defenders have done a good job all game so far, toggling their safeties, rocking and rolling their safeties, disguising looks. Does it look like pressure? Kind of. But what do? They're going to blow out of there, bluff it, which means you're going to get exaggerated zone drops. These guys got to really hightail it out from the line of scrimmage. And then look at the play call. Zebra personnel, which is 11, one back, one tight end, 3 receivers. Gun, trips left, Y off, close, 75, pepper, X deep cross, backs cross. It's a lot to say, right?
It's a lot to spit out.
A lot to spit out. So here's the routes in accordance with the play call. You're getting double posts, the 2 Ps and dipper tell you the post. That's number 1, your big post option. Remember, it's 3rd and 9. You got to throw the ball down the field potentially. There's your seam post, which is more of like a blitz 0 answer. Number 3 is DJ Moore ripping across the field on a deep crosser. That's why you say close in the formation to remind him to close his split. Then you got the tight end and the halfback crossing each other in case you get man-to-man to get a natural pick. Reminder that in 75 protection out of the gun, these guys are going to chip on their way out. So they're going to help the tackles while Caleb's looking down the field, reading this deep post, seam post, and deep cross. 1, 2, and 3. I love his eyes. I love him defining 5 steps in his drop, understanding that there's wide, expansive zone drops. Nothing's open downfield. 1, 2, and 3 are dead to me. I got to get to number 4. Where's Cole Kmet? Right there. I want to throw it to him, but Quentin Lake's right in front of him. Where's my back? I get all the way to number 5. On this, give him a catchable ball. Shout out to Roshan Johnson for going up and plucking this thing out of the air because it's not the best ball, but he keeps his momentum going forward. 1 foot in the ground, split defenders, go get me a first down. He threw it 4 yards to gain 9 yards.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, right? In just one play. Now, this is where the Bears hurt themselves. That play was negated. I had to show it. I didn't want to be Debbie Downer from the jump. But the play was negated because Darnell Wright, the right tackle, lined up too far back, illegal formation. Those are the kind of things they need to eliminate. The pre-snap penalties. They were number 4 in the league coming into the game on pre-snap penalties. They need to cut those out. But that shows me right there that Caleb Williams is seeing it. They're giving him full field reads. He's understanding the situation and the down and distance. That was perfect. And so much growth compared to the last couple weeks, even from the first week. He didn't turn it over. They won the game. He threw it 23 times. 23 times, not 50 plus, not 360 plus yards. Okay, fine. It's not your best stat line, but the most important one is the W in the win column. Is that right?
Yeah. That's
So
a lot.
I loved what he did there.
All right.
Okay, now we get into the next play down near the goal line. This is another crucial 3rd down. Go ahead and roll the tape. We're in the low red zone, and it's empty formation. Nobody's next to the quarterback. I want you to see how they align in empty formation. They're out of 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Now, they put the tight ends in unique spots. The tight end's in the slot up top, and he's number 2 in the middle of those 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. So that's going to tell me man or zone tells. Okay, that's going to give me some information. You got 5 guys sniffing around the line of scrimmage. Everybody else is playing man-to-man over their player. Okay, look for mismatches. We got 1 rover in the back of the field. He's just going to read the quarterback's eyes. So they give him a full field read, which is going to allow him to have a natural look off. He's going to start up top on a slant route to Gerald Everett. His next look is going to be another full field read. He's going left to right, like a sprinkler across the lawn. Just tick, 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 all the way across the lawn. Hang in there. And then you're going to go from the slant to the stick nod down here to DJ Moore. The slant's job is to win across the backer's face. He's got a beat reader on the slant. He feels the safety helping out. Boom, get to my next guy. Shift your eyes to number 2. And who is that? DJ Moore on a stick nod on Roseboom, a backer. Hold on. DJ Moore, responsible for 40% of your offense, is on a backer, on a stick nod, a double move? This guy's going to stick with my guy? Hell no, he's not. Watch this throw. Back end line, over the top. Credit to Roseboom. He played this much better than most backers. He's all over him, right? So where do you throw that ball? Back end line throws, face mask and higher. If I'm being hypercritical, I'd say throw it even a little bit higher because he almost tipped it away. Front end line throws, they got to be down and dirty. It's got to look like a tag at home plate in baseball, right? They got to be low. Belt loop and lower, numbers and lower. This was so good by Caleb, understanding what was going on, seeing the whole field, getting from 1 to 2 quickly and cutting the ball loose.
Could I just argue the kid needed 4 weeks? All that information, maybe he just needed 4. It's so much.
Everybody needs time on task for this stuff. Some guys get it week 1, some guys get it week 18. It doesn't matter how it happens, but you got to give him some structure, set him up for success. They did better on first down. They were more productive on first down when they didn't have pre-snap penalties.
Run game.
The run game was great. I think shout out to the offensive line, to Chad Morton, the running backs coach, to Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, who took a ton of heat last week for their execution on the goal line. They look much better this week. And then, Kerry Joseph, the quarterback coach, a quarterback in his own right, was a stud in the CFL, won a Grey Cup. Like, he knows how to play this position. And they helped him out by setting him up with great concepts where he could see the whole field, get through pure progression reads, and check the ball down if he needed to, and pierce the defense with a great throw when he needed to. So it was much better outfit, not as many throws, calculated effort, and what do you know? Eberflus in this defense, they take the ball away a couple times. They win on a turnover, although it could have been an illegal hit on the quarterback.
Right.
But that was the story of the game to me, is finding a winning formula in Chicago. That's going to be what it looks like, especially when you can kind of keep the game close the whole time. Now, there's going to be a point where he has to put it up 50 times a game because you're chasing points and you get down 14 early and boom, okay, we got to get into more of a wide open, spread them out kind of mode. But this game was, they put their foot in the ground and ran north and south, and I loved it. No more dancing in the hole, run behind 79 prior, and just get me as many yards as you can, get me to second and third and manageable, and Caleb played great.
I think you really compartmentalized it well early. The punter's great. The field goal kicker's excellent.
A lot working in his favor.
I think, I've said this about the heat on Eberflus. The first thing I look for a coach is, does he own his side of the ball? McDermott made Buffalo's defense very good. Yep. Some things I can complain about. Lincoln Riley, offense is good. Like when I watch Chicago and Eberflus, they have a great corner in Jalen Sweat, but the defense it's fastened. The alignment, they make plays.
And they're helping him out with little stuff like the wristband. We talked about that call. Look at this call. Say this call back. Hey, zebra personnel, trips left off.
So Caleb's
close.
Wearing
zebra gun, trips left off, close, 75, pepper.
So Caleb's now
X
wearing
deep
the
cross, backs cross. You got a lot to say. And if you need to hear that from the coordinator twice and then go into the huddle and then go up to the line of scrimmage, you're scrambling just to make it to the line of scrimmage and diagnose the defense, and boom, you got to snap the ball. It's a delay a game. So now they're using the wristband. It's much easier. It's written out for him. He can study it the night before, and he's got these calls memorized more or less, and it makes it much easier for his process.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.